The other night, my family and I were piled into our Subaru headed to church. It was Monday night, and we noticed that we were a second in line of a 4-car convoy headed to the same place. My husband is a pastor in Eudora, and we're part of a larger church in Tonganoxie. 3 other cars of church folks were headed to different events at the church that night, but they joined us at the intersection. I couldn't figure out why all the cars were stopped, but I saw that cars from the other directions were also stopped, and no one dared to go. It was very unusual for this particular intersection because it's always pretty treacherous since only the north and southbound traffic have to stop. But this time, I saw a sheriff's SUV on the side of the road with its red and blue lights flashing. The officer, in his typical tan uniform, was in the middle of the road yanking on a rope or a wire that was connected to something in the tall weeds of the grassy ditch. I thought he might be struggling to rescue an animal, or maybe there was a dog at the end of that tether. I wasn't quite sure. Suddenly, a long black tube popped up out of the ditch as he gave one last yank, and I realized it was a road trap. He danced around trying to maneuver the trap in the road to get it where he wanted it. I never saw a man that big jump around so fast. Just as I started to wonder what he was up to, I heard sirens in the distance, and they were getting closer. The officer pulled the trap into the final position and crouched down in front of his parked SUV. We only had to wait a matter of moments until a beat-up, black, boxy piece of crap car came zooming through the intersection. It rolled right over the trap, and I heard the distinct sound of all 4 tires popping in unison. I don't know why, but that moment sent a thrill through my body, and I exclaimed, "They got him!" The officer pulled the trap back just in time for 3 more police SUVs to sail through the intersection. He rushed to throw the trap into the back of his car, and in his excitement to jump into the front seat, he slipped on the pavement. I felt bad for him, but he quickly recovered and hopped into his truck and sped off after them. We all sat there for a few moments processing what just happened before the intersection started to resume normal traffic patterns. I looked down the road where they were headed, and it appeared as if the lights had stopped just before the road took a turn, so I assumed they were able to get the guy since he really had no more tires to drive on. I don't know what he did, but it sure was exciting to watch. As soon as we all got to church, the first thing out of everyone's mouth was, "Did you see that?"